4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rantz.
And welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of Sports Shorts, presented by LaBerge Casino in Baton Rouge. LaBerge Casino, all kind of great events coming up this fall. It is the place to be the Friday night before LSU home football games. Download the LaBerge Baton Rouge app on your phone. Check it out, and go see all the great concerts they have coming up. Join us. We got some great guests for you today, this week on Sports Shorts Television. First off, Lee Brecheen of Louisiana Football Magazine, over 20 years in existence. We're going to talk to Lee about the upcoming issue that we have coming out, and then later on in the show, LSU Hall of Famer getting inducted this fall. LSU gymnast Susan Jackson will be here in studio. The former gymnast great. She'll be in a great class with Brady James, Jason Williams, and others this fall, nominated the Friday night, getting inducted the Friday night before the Florida football game. But, Lee, how are you, sir?
Great, man. How are you?
This is your time of the year, my friend. I mean, you got the new magazine is out, and you're all over the state promoting high school football.
Got to let people know it's out. Got to let parents know their kids are in it, and all the hard work. I always say every year we go to close to 100 games every year. I do. I'm one of those crazy guys that still goes to the game. You know, not just a highlight tape, watch, I want to see the full game, watch guys play. And 26 years, 23 years with the magazine, and it's TV show 14 years.
So how many years with the magazine?
23.
23 years with the magazine. You got your TV show as well throughout the year. Talk to me about the decision you've made years ago, because look, most people are going strictly electronic, right? Yeah. You're still got the magazine, which I prefer. I'm old school, but I'm 47. I like to have it in my hand, flip through it. I'm eating a little lunch, sitting on the throne, whatever the case may be. I want to have that magazine in my hand. So why the decision to stay with the kind of brick and mortar style?
We got a good product. People want to read about their kids. They want to read about the other kids. The coaches want to read about it. As long as you have the market of the parents, and then anybody over 40 right now, they're still reading the newspaper. So we got a good 20 years on that group. But we've been around a long time. So when you're around 20-plus years, people, it's something they get every year. In Texas, they do it. They got the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine since 1955. Wow. So it's it's something they get every year. And I don't put all my recruiting on the internet. Nothing to any of the internet guys. But a lot of stuff I save for the book, and a lot of it I will say is still not out there, because most of your internet football recruiting is off of camps. Mm-hmm. Going to games, seeing stuff you would only get from the parents, just from an eyeball test on all the guys. Not just the top 50 or the top 25 people talk about. This is the top 500-600 that we talk about. So it's still going to be a little different. Later on you'll get it, but you're getting it early, previewed.
So Lee, of course, has been putting out the Louisiana Football Magazine, as he mentioned earlier, for 23 years. And Paul, can we pull up the old? This was 23 years ago.
See what they gave you.
The first ever cover of Louisiana football.
Actually, that's the recruiting. That's the paperback.
That's the paperback.
That was Anthony A. Train Thomas from Winfield on the right. Went to Michigan.
He's in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
See Mr. Craig Nall on the left. Craig Nall from Ash.
Went to LSU,
your neck of the
Northwestern
woods.
State, played in the NFL a minute.
Mr. Abram Booty to the bottom left. Mm-hmm. Evangel Christian to the right. Philip Dees, who's now the principal of Evangel Christian.
Is he really?
Yeah, and he went to North Carolina. Didn't work out under Mac Brown, who's now, it's crazy, Mac's back. But that was put together in the floor of my apartment. I didn't know how to do a magazine.
$4 back then. Right. What's the price now? Let's see. What are we at?
$7.90.
$8. It's only doubled. And then this is a much better program than that was. With this one's all glossy and everything.
Yeah. So we actually had an orange cover. Was our first gloss one in '97. Damian James was on the cover, and Brad Smalling, if you remember those guys.
Yeah, sure.
James was at Karen Crow. Didn't finish his senior year. Got in a little bit of trouble, but things worked out. Brad Smalling, same thing. He didn't finish his senior year. West Monroe, 6'7",
right, big old boy,
330.
Yeah, was blocking for Tommy Banks.
Good memory. Good memory, Ronnie.
that program cover you showed a minute ago, 2 of the 4 made it to the NFL,
yeah.
1 into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and of course Abram Booty probably would have played in the NFL if he'd have wanted to. He quit.
Right.
He quit towards the end of his LSU career, but he was doing some good things. Let's go back in time. How did you get into this? So you talk about how you sat on the floor of your apartment putting together a program, but who comes up with the idea and then says, you know what, I'm willing to lose money for a while before I make money? How did that happen?
Well, my dad, was a football coach, a youth league coach, and he's no longer with us. He's been gone several years, but my dad used to give me a magazine when he was done with it. Like most kids in the 70s and 80s, probably like you, Ronnie, your dad would get through with Street and Smith's and say, hey, and then you pick it up or you read it or you don't read it. Now, I would be the kid that would read them all. Athlon's, Street and Smith. And there was one called Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. My dad picked one up in Texas. You can only get it in Texas. And I said, man, this is cool. And so as I was growing up, I'd get it in the 80s and early 90s, and my dad would subscribe to it. And I said, we need a high school college magazine. And at the time, I was working at Tiger Rag Magazine with Gordy Rush, and I was doing marketing, doing their recruiting. And I said, I left Tiger Rag Magazine for bust.
Right.
No money, a beat-up truck, and an apartment.
And an idea.
And an idea. Mm-hmm. And so I just went to a bunch of businesses and said, look, I'm going to do a high school college magazine. You'll be proud of it. It'll be out in a couple of months.
Trust me.
Trust me, please. Please be a part of it. And so 23 years ago, back in the late part of 96, the first book was 97, we got 60 companies to get behind it and started a magazine. And I went around the state promoting and going to the schools.
Who were the big 1 or 2 sponsors that believed in you, that really gave you a lot of money to help you get going?
One is still in business, Town and Country Furniture, which now owns Bassett Furniture. The Casemores, Damon Casemore, who's now retired, and his grandkids, actually. You're getting old when his grandkids are running the company. And Superior Grill, Bob Kershaw, big time. I walked in New Orleans, and I was just like, I need someone to back this. And Superior Grill was opening up on St. Charles Avenue. They were new. And just so happened, Bob's walking in, the owner, and everybody already told me, leave, you can't see him.
Right.
He said, no, what, you got a football magazine? He said, I played football at Northwestern State. Sat down, and he said, I'll start with you, and that's how we got started.
Been with you ever since.
Been with me 23 years.
And just like Superior Grill in St. Charles,
that's
still
right.
doing well.
That's right. Well. You know about New Orleans too. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a passion, and you have to have a passion because the first 5 years we made no money. We were just paying the bills, and there's times where you just have to give up a lot of your life to go to these games and go all over the state. I really go to Shreveport. I really go to Lake Charles. I really go to New Orleans to go to these games and be a part of it, not just talk about it.
So you've got 2 different covers, and go ahead and Paul and pull those up as we talk about them. You got 2 different covers each year. One North Louisiana cover, one South Louisiana. The content in the middle is the same, but it's just the covers that change based on the geography. Talk about your process of how you put together the program. What is somebody going to see when they get their annual Louisiana Football Magazine?
Well, the key is we start a year in advance trying with scouting. And I know a lot of scouting's on the internet. A lot of guys have their handle, and they do a great job. But I tend to not put my stuff on the internet. I sell it to colleges. Yeah, hey. So I take a lot of this information. Again, I withhold it, and I put it in the book. We have the All-Louisiana team for all the high schools. And what's neat is I thought North Louisiana needed their All-Louisiana team. And you can't put everybody on one. So we split it up. North has their own cover. And then we do the all-North Louisiana first-team offense. So if you get it, it's the top recruits I've seen on offense, defense. We even have nickelbacks to put top 5 DBs, kickers, punters, even deep snappers.
Nice.
Ronnie,
they get some love.
They get love.
Good.
And then all the colleges are previewed. Yours truly, Northwestern State, Southern, Nicholls State, ULL, McNeese, La Tech, as they call it here, Tulane, Grambling, and Louisiana College, and obviously LSU. So You get the preview on every college. You get the pictures of the guys coming back. You get the All-Louisiana team, and then you get an in-depth profile of every high school in the state. So even though North and South are different, they still have all the schools in it. But we have a signature of 20 pages that are different from the other magazines. So 20 is just North's recruiting, 20 South.
Talking with Lee Brecheen, the publisher, editor, owner, secretary. He does it all for Louisiana Football Magazine for over 23 years. So it's interesting. You put out this magazine every August, but then you'll spend the next fall. So this is the 2019 edition.
Yeah.
So you'll spend the fall, a little bit of spring. You'll compile all your data, your info. You write it over the summer. So in 2020, next August, we'll kind of see the fruits of that labor for the next year class. So during the course of the year, where you're not, publishing, you're just gathering your info.
Right.
You're telling me you actually share or sell or whatever that info to different colleges.
Yeah, well, you don't want to sell emails and numbers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. High school coaches want you to help their kids.
Right.
And so if I'm talking to Savannah State, or I'm talking to Harding University in Arkansas, you help by trying to get these colleges interested in kids that LSU doesn't want or Tulane doesn't want. Or maybe it's for Tulane. Maybe I'm helping Tulane with players that LSU's not offering.
Right.
Vice versa with ULL and La Tech, ULM of Monroe. So it's getting more deep into the vault on stuff that you're not going to put in the magazine about the kids that the colleges need to know.
So over the years, since you've been doing this for 23 years, you obviously have some sleeper stories. Okay. So give
quite a few.
Give me your top 2 or 3 sleeper stories where you got on somebody first, you found a player that nobody else was seeing, or you convinced the school to take somebody sight unseen, and the guy ended up being a star. Give me a story.
One's Donnie Jones, punter LSU. Now Donnie became a great punter at LSU. Went to Catholic High, played for Dale Weiner. Some kids you just see them and you just see they have it. And they have the drive and the passion. And Donnie was a kid as a junior that would punt. He was a tight end. Most people don't remember Donnie was an all-state tight end, which shows he's tough. He would block. He would curl back and block a DN. Mm-hmm. Who does that as a punter, right?
Right.
And then he's got a cannon leg with hang time and distance, and he's 6'2", 215. Saban took him, Les Miles and those guys. This was during the DiNardo in – it was kind of where DiNardo was leaving, right, and then Nick was coming in. So
he fell through the cracks.
He fell through the cracks, and actually DiNardo signed him, and ended up playing for Nick Saban. But here's a kid that you just see in practice. Not anybody's blowing any horns about how great he's going to be, and I just saw that all the legs I've seen in 23 years, Donnie had that leg, and he had that commitment, and he was passionate about football. I mean, he just didn't punt just to punt. And I'm friends with his parents to this day, Amanda and Don Jones. So another one is Brady James. So you're talking about Brady earlier. And you can ask Brady this. But back before there was infractions and violations, I went to Wassman High School to watch practice. And Brad Smalling's dad took me. I said, how do I get to Wassman? Where are we going? Yeah, and I'm going to watch practice. And they're in shorts. They're not in full pads that day, but I see this kid running around, and he's 6'2", about 200 pounds. He's only a sophomore. And the great story about Brady James from that day is that his mom and dad were dying of cancer, and he'd lost his dad, and his mom he lost while he was at LSU. But he needed a ride home after practice. And he said, hey, man, me and my brother, will you give us a ride home? I said, better yet, are you hungry? And you can ask Brady. I said, you need a hamburger? Now, I'm not an alumnus of anything. So we went and got a hamburger and a Coke and talked. And I said, kid, one day you're going to be a great player. He ends up at West Monroe.
Right, senior year.
And plays for Jerry Arledge. And the rest is history. Ends up being 230 pounds. And there's not a lot of linebackers that look like Brady James to this day. Maybe a couple on the team now at LSU. Yeah. Devin White was good.
All right, so give me a third. So you had Donnie Jones, Brady James, somebody else maybe not as high profile that went on to be great at some other college or something like that.
There's a bunch of them. I don't want to say a third, but I could give you probably 20 different ones that they weren't recruited. I helped a kid this past year at E.D. White walk-on at LSU, and people go, well, it's just a walk-on. Look, it's an opportunity. They don't give out a lot of walk-ons. You got to be all-world just to walk on. And so I helped the linebacker. He was an O-lineman, Ronnie, and played linebacker.
Sure.
It's hard to get recruited when you're playing tackle on the O-line, but you need to for the team. It's 6'2", Aaron Benfield, Benfield. And by the way, he's got a chance to be a great player. He's not your typical walk-on. He's 6'2" now, about 235.
If he earns his stripes on
earns his
kickoff
stripes.
team
Remember
or special
John
teams,
David
something
Moore,
like that.
right?
Sure,
Ruston.
sure.
So I said, Aaron, you and your dad, you have a passion about LSU. They didn't recruit you. They didn't even talk to you. Don't take it personal. When the season's over, recruiting's over, and his dad's like, when recruiting's over, it's like, when recruiting's over, take the tape and go to LSU's football office and ask for somebody to help you. Sure enough, somebody came out, one of the coaches, they looked at Aaron. He passes the eyeball test, and he's got the grades, and he's on the team.
Cool stuff. He's Lee Brecheen, the publisher of Louisiana Football Magazine. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more to talk about the 2019 edition. We'll show you the two different covers, and we'll tell you about some of the stuff you'll read if you dig into Louisiana Football Magazine. Plus, coming up in a little bit, Susan Jackson will join us. We'll talk to the Hall of Fame gymnast. That's coming up next.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rantz.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts. Ronnie Rantz, Lee Brecheen, the owner, publisher, editor, all in one with Louisiana Football Magazine, over 23 years in business. The new programs, the new magazines are on the newsstands all across the state. But if you can't find one or you don't want to bother with it, you want one to just show up at your house, tell the folks how they can get one.
If you want it delivered to you, go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com. There will be a right on the homepage. You can see where it says buy the magazine, and you can get the North copy or the South copy delivered to you anywhere in the state of Louisiana. If you don't want to go to the website, go to Tiger Mart on Nicholson.
Yeah, Baton
City
Rouge,
Newsstand,
right by LaBear's.
City Newsstand off of Jones Creek. Also Highland Road, Texaco on Highland Road. There's several other ones, but you can go to our site and it'll list the stores starting tomorrow.
Yeah, that's just some of the Baton Rouge locations. They have locations all over the state, but go to lafootballmagazine.com, and then, while you're there, go ahead and pick up a publication, order one, it'll show up in your mailbox. Let's go ahead, Paul, and put up the one of the issues. I want to show the different covers. The real cool thing about this is, I guess, your North Louisiana
Northwestern,
one.
yeah.
There's the Northwestern State Demons with new head coach Brad Laird, second-year coach there. Each cover has a ton of kids on it. How do you get on the cover? What's the process?
Well, Jace Lejeune, who's my editor, I want to give him some kudos because he actually has been trained and taught what I used to do. I used to call all the kids and coaches, and they know me after 30 years, so they know it's legit. Jace called all these kids, their moms and dads. We got their numbers, said, look, you've been chosen for the cover through scouting by Lee, and here's the time, and this is where we're going to do it. And they're all pumped about it, and we'll get that cover. We got over 700 people showed up, counting other relatives. And Northwestern opened their arms with Cokes and that type of stuff. Brad Laird. Look, it was unofficial visits for them. So we had 700 recruits. Just when we were done with them, it was legal to have unofficial. We brought them all there for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool too, to help the kids and the coaches.
Let's show the South Louisiana cover. So the cool thing is the content in the middle stays the same, but you got your two different covers to market to the two different clienteles. This is the South Louisiana. Where'd y'all do this?
Catholic High Bears, man. I think Matt Moscona and them would be happy about that.
In Baton
we couldn't
Rouge.
get the bear, emblem because the kids are sitting on it. But those are all the South guys. And South, just so people know, it's Lake Charles down to New Orleans, Lafayette, I-10 corridor. And then Ellick back is north.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with Bunkie. Bunkie is always tied into those districts. So this is a good-looking group of almost 60 kids. 3 are Catholic High kids. And look, they're all 1AA kids at least. Meaning these aren't just guys that are good. They're going to go to at least a 1AA college or D1.
Say, everybody that's on this cover is somebody that's being recruited
or needs to
by
be
1A or 1AA.
As soon as colleges see it, they'll start recruiting some of the guys they're not recruiting.
Mm-hmm. We were talking before the break. Some of the different stories, and you mentioned a guy over in the Lafayette area.
Yeah,
guys that you found. I'm talking about those diamonds in the rough that for 23 years of doing this, a lot of guys slip through the cracks.
Right.
And, everybody knows about the 6'3", 220-pound guy that runs a 4.4.
Yeah.
But they don't know about a lot of tons of other players. But you had a good story to pass along.
A dad calls me out of the book, and I had seen this kid play. St. Thomas More, great school in Lafayette. And Spencer Tatum's the kid, and he was a DN, 6'190".
About how long ago? 20 years ago?
It's 18 years ago, 17 years ago. And Coy Tatum, his dad, played at Alabama. He grew up in Alabama,
Right.
And he was an All-American at North Dakota State. This is what I love about this. And I don't know the dad from I don't know him. And he says, look, I love your book. And my son blew his knee in spring. He's going to be a senior. His knee's blown. What are we going to do? Well, he ran a 4.6. But he played, back then, STM had DNs at 190. Now it's a little bit more talent. And he's a linebacker. But where are you going to go at 190, 6 foot tall? So I said, look, I'm going to get on the phone with Fork Union Prep School in Virginia.
Right, famous prep school.
And a daddy's like, who's that? And so I call the coach, Coach Schumann. John Schumann is a legend. 250 D1 signees that came out of there. And I said, look, we're going to get Spencer a tryout. You got a tryout. And he only got 5 spots open out of 80. And then you might not start when you get there. And Spencer's like, I'm going to do it. Most kids don't want to leave their city to go play college ball. Goes up, makes the team. Fall season, he gets up to 220 running a 4.5. He's a starting Mike linebacker. Week 1, sacks Brock Berlin from Florida Gators.
Yeah,
on TV. One of them TV games.
Right.
And he's not only the starter, he's the captain. He's the team captain of the team at Ohio U, which Frank Solich was the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who was the D coordinator? Joe Burrow's daddy.
Oh, wow.
So I knew Joe's dad through Spencer Tatum. And so he ends up being a 3-year starter and student councilman, president of the student voice with their board of supervisors.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All through the initial conversation of Dad calling Lee, saying, "Hey, I saw your magazine, and my boy needs
now
to
he's
be,
in Scottsdale, and he's doing great. He's got
awesome.
and he's training the Arizona Cardinal players on the side.
That's great stuff. Louisiana, LA football.
LAfootballmagazine.com is our website.
LAfootballmagazine.com. Log on there, buy a subscription. Get you both North and South Louisiana, so you can see the different covers. Also, you've got a listing of all the different stores throughout the state that are selling these things year round. I see them when I'm getting my Yoo-Hoo and my Little Debbie at the counter all over the state of Louisiana. You'll see these Louisiana football magazines, hopefully up there by the cash register. Lee, thanks so much, man, for taking time to come see us.
Thanks for letting me come on.
23 years.
23.
Nobody works harder. They're out there grinding. Friday Night Lights, he's there. Check him out. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll visit with former LSU gymnast, get inducted into the LSU Hall of Fame, joining Lee's own Brady James and Jason Williams and others. We'll talk to Susan Jackson next.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau Saint Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG, and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rantz.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Shorts presented by LeBear's Casino. Ronnie Rantz, thanks to Lee Brecheen of Louisiana Football Magazine, who joined us last segment. Bringing in now, we upgraded. we had to move the chair up a little bit, make sure Miss Jackson could fit. Miss Susan Jackson, All-American gymnast from LSU. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Thanks for making your Sports Shorts TV debut.
Was that a short joke again?
No, it's the fact that I'm wearing shorts,
Okay.
and always do. But you've been on our radio show before, and now you're on our TV show. But first off, I really want to congratulate you. You're joining a prestigious class, by the way, getting inducted into the LSU Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame this fall. The Friday night before the Florida game is the big ceremony. You're joining a good friend of mine, Jason Williams, and Brady James, and others. But take me through when you got the call. Who called you? How did you find out? What was that moment like?
Yeah, it wasn't like super romantic. I was making sales calls in Lake Charles, and I don't know many people there yet, so I was eating at this place called the Boiling Point, and they have really good boudin. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I got a phone call from a 225 number, and I'm in sales, so I always pick up, and it was Verge Osbury. So he said, "Is this Susan Jackson?" Well, I didn't know it was Verge. I said, "Is this Susan Jackson?" I said, "Yes." "The former gymnast, Susan Jackson?" I said, "Yeah, who's this?" I thought somebody was messing with me. And he said, "This is Verge. I just wanted to let you know that you've been chosen to be in this year's class of the Hall of Fame." But what kind of stunk about it was that the reception in the building was terrible. So I could barely hear.
And you're
Every
like,
other
what?
word was broken up, and I was there by myself. You know, bunch of plant guys.
Celebrating by yourself.
Damn it, you know. At least I had the boudin ball, right? Anyway.
Well, so Verge Osbury, the former, of course, LSU linebacker, who now has been a long time in the LSU athletic administration. He was able to be the one to make all the calls. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But I mean, when you had a chance to, get out of there, call your family, and reflect, yes. I mean, it had to catch you off guard. I mean, it's not like you're, 50 years removed or something like that. I mean, you were doing your thing just 10 years ago.
Right. I was surprised that it happened so quickly. I thought definitely later on in life, but then I looked back at the other gymnasts, and April Burkholder was the last one. She graduated in 2006, and she got inducted in 2016. So. Yeah, I thought it was fast, but I don't know.
You grew up in the Houston area? Mm-hmm. Take us back. Let's go back. So most people who get into gymnastics do so from the time they pop out of the womb. I mean, basically, 2 years old, 1 year old, they're in tumbling classes. Was that you? Was it always your life?
Absolutely. Actually, it's funny that you say once they pop out of the womb, because the first thing the doctor said when I came out was, "Wow, look at her thighs." Like, they were just like, they were big.
They were muscular,
there was the cut
even
up the side. And so I was kind of, I think, destined to be a gymnast. But what really, what made my parents put me in was that I was just overactive as a toddler, and to kind of save myself and the house from destruction, they thought I needed to be put into a gym with mats and coaches and get some energy out in a safe environment. So
well, if that's the model for gymnastics, a hyperactive child, basically,
everybody should be.
Then I should have been a gymnast, which would have been interesting. I don't think they have a pommel horse big enough. But all right, so when did you start off, like I said, as little as you could possibly be? Mom's taking you to the tumbling classes and all that sort of thing. But when did it become obvious that, this isn't just a regular kid wearing a leotard? This is somebody that's really special, has a chance to do some things.
Okay, I'm going to answer this two ways. So looking back at videos now, they should have recognized it when I was spinning.
Right away. Yeah.
Because I was doing like skills that 3-year-olds shouldn't be doing, and I was doing them perfectly. It just came natural. So I don't know if they found it then, they didn't spot it. But I think really when people started talking about Olympics and, hey, you could really, do something with this, I'm going to say age 8, probably.
When growing up in the Houston area, heck, it doesn't matter if you grew up in North Dakota. You grow up and you're a gymnast. Back in now it's different. Now there's others that for people to turn to. But Mary Lou Retton was really the person, right? For 30 years. I know nothing about gymnastics, but I know Mary Lou Retton, Wheaties box, 84 Olympics, all that sort of stuff. I was 12 when she won the gold medal. So I remember watching it. I remember she was a superstar and still is a superstar. And so I'm assuming that, and she's from Texas. So I would assume, or married a quarterback from Texas, right? And kind of adopted the state.
Right.
But I mean, I would imagine that you had your heroes and people you looked up to, and I know you had a personal relationship with her.
Yeah, and Mary Lou was definitely one of them. She was not really my time. She was in the 84 Olympics, and then I was born in 87. But she really broke the mold with kind of our body type. Before gymnasts were taller and lean and ballerina-like, and certainly not muscular and thunder thighs like Mary Lou and I have. And so that was something that I always admired her with, was that, she was different, but then she ended up being so different because she could do all of these hard passes and just broke the mold and set new records and set new expectations, I think, for the sport of gymnastics. But yeah, she moved to Houston, married the quarterback for University of Texas, and raised for 4 girls in Houston. So I got to babysit all of them.
You babysit?
Yeah.
Did she pay well?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was fabulous.
Of the 4 girls, were they all high level gymnasts?
No, they all started out in gymnastics, and 2 out of the 3 competed or are going to compete in college. McKenna Kelly was a gymnast at LSU. She just graduated this past year. And then Emma, the youngest of 4, she's coming not this season but next.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was not an acrobat. It's like acro tumbling.
Right,
she did that at Baylor.
Right.
And the other is a cheerleader.
Is that where they have the little
No,
thingy?
it's like
What is that? Where they have the little thingy they wave
like
in the air, the little ribbon?
No, that's no.
That's not
So
acro
close.
tumbling.
No, so
Oh,
close.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's like they stack people on top of each other
Oh,
and they do
yeah,
higher tumbling than cheerleaders.
Yeah, I'd have been the base. Visiting with Susan Jackson. She was an All-American national champion 3 times at LSU. And then when got finished at LSU, went and worked for Cirque du Soleil. We'll get into all that a little bit more, but let's go back. So you're 8 years old. It becomes obvious that, hey, she needs to be in the A group, And I know in gymnastics, right, they have numbers, like a number system, right?
Yeah,
levels. So by 8 years old, you're a level what? What's the, is that the highest?
So you go level, I guess at the time it was level 5 through 10.
Okay.
And then you move to elite. So for reference, college gymnasts compete at level 10.
Okay.
And then Olympics, you have to be in elite for that.
When you're 8 years old and you're at level 8 and, you're above the curve and you're probably dreaming of Olympics, right? I mean, you're thinking, hey, I mean, I want to do the Olympics one day. And when people watch television and they watch gymnastics, and of course the folks in South Louisiana really got into gymnastics over the last 10 to 20 years, and the crowds are stuffed over there at the PMAC and everything, and then watching LSU compete for national championships every year. So people are starting to get more familiar with gymnastics.
Right.
College gymnastics, level 10, elite gymnastics, Simone Biles.
Oh.
A
Simone
level
Biles is
level
her
12.
own-
She's
yeah,
level
she's
12.
like her own
But the
thing.
point is that it's kind of, I guess it's like AAA, big leagues, right? It's it's such a small difference, right? Because when I watch LSU gymnastics, I can't tell but anything the difference between SEC and the Russians. It all looks the same to me.
I can tell a difference.
Yeah.
There's a lot more difficulty in elite gymnastics,
And
whereas
the moves that they do.
Right.
Right.
And just the routines are longer. But in college gymnastics, you only need 5/10 to get to a 10 starting value. So everybody really kind of starts from the same number. It's just the name of the game in college is just to be perfect every time. But in elite, it's kind of, yes, be perfect, but also do like super ridiculously hard things.
Like Simone Biles just
nobody
did.
is ever going to catch up
Okay,
to Simone
so
Biles.
I know. Let me. I know I'm jumping around here,
Yeah.
but because you won a national championship on beam your senior year,
Yeah.
and then you won a national championship in all around, or sophomore year you won a national championship in vault. But I want to get to beam because I have a 14 wide foot. Okay, it's which is a big foot, and the beam is only how wide?
4 inches.
4 inches wide. Okay, so basically I'm already falling off just standing on it. So you're on this beam 4 inches wide, doing all these crazy tumbling moves. Okay, you won a national championship. You were as good as it comes 10 years ago. Simone Biles just did something that no one's ever done before. Try to explain to me what it is that she did that people are freaking out about.
Okay, so she added another twist is really...
On the dismount?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in college, when I was there, I just did 2 flips off the end of the beam.
And that was a big deal?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, all right.
No, it wasn't. But it was college gymnastics, and I wanted to stick it. You have to stick it. So I did. My difficulty was here. But I did 2 flips, no twists.
Okay.
So then somebody in Elite, probably 2004, did 2 flips with a full twist. And that was huge, huge. And now Simone does 2 flips, and she added another full twist. So 2 flips and 2 twists.
Just doesn't seem like there's enough
But
time
could you
in the
imagine,
air.
she doesn't need to be doing this stuff. And it's amazing, but what if that's 4 inches. What if she, barely slips a foot? She's in trouble.
Well, that's the thing that separates, I guess, you crazy gymnasts from the rest of us mortals. And I guess now that you're removed from it and you're getting older, you're a little more scared than you used to be. Right. I mean, but when you were 20 years old, you just went for it. You didn't worry. And that's what Biles is doing. How old is she, by the way? Is she about 20?
Yeah.
Will
20,
she?
22.
She won't go to college and compete.
No,
after.
she can't.
She can't because
she's
she's getting
professional.
paid now.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's.
But I think she's getting bored, because she is leaps and bounds over the rest of the world to ever come. And so I think she's getting bored and just wanted to try new things.
How much money does she make now? I mean, she's the best in the world by far. She can be the best in the world as long as she wants to be in gymnastics. At least another 2 years, she could probably be as close to where as good as she is. What are we talking about here? I mean, she's making...
She makes millions.
Like millions.
Yeah.
I mean, does she make...
She's a Nike athlete. Just all the sponsorships that come along with it. Yeah. Millions.
Unbelievable.
Google it.
Oh, yeah, the Google machine. Google never lies.
But I think for her, it's they need to just keep her healthy, because there's nobody can catch up to her ever, point blank. So just keeping her healthy and she'll, be the best.
On the Mount Rushmore of USA gymnastics, Mary Lou Retton, Simone Biles, who else is? There's only 4.
Nastia Liukin, Carly Patterson.
Carly Patterson. She's broken foot girl, right?
No.
No, who was broken foot girl?
That's Carrie Strug.
That was Carrie Strug. Yeah, when
you know what's funny about that? Maybe, and I'm going to ruin it for everybody, but she actually didn't need to stick that landing for them to win.
Oh, the legend is that
story.
She stuck the land. She
and
needed
then
to stick the landing for the United States to win. But you're telling me that points wise, she really didn't need to.
But let's just go with it. She did. Could you imagine landing on a broken foot? I mean, it's amazing regardless.
What's the toughest thing you ever did in gymnastics? As far as playing hurt or getting
playing hurt?
Well, no, I'm just like you had an injury and you competed anyway type of thing.
Oh, gosh.
What's the toughest thing you ever did? Once you think back, that was crazy.
I mean,
did you ever compete with a broken bone? Did you
probably? Yeah, I mean, I had a broken neck for a while that I didn't know about, so I'm sure.
Just a broken neck.
I was at the doctor 5 years ago, and I took X-rays on my neck, and he said, "So when did you break your neck?" Huh?
Because it calcified, and he saw it.
He saw the
and
things.
So he at some point in your career, you had broken your neck.
I did.
Do you think? I mean, obviously,
I have no idea when.
You have no idea.
Mm-mm.
That's insane.
But for me, my worst injury actually came after gymnastics when I was pretending to be a gymnast for a movie. So I did stunt. Okay, so like you said, I went to Cirque du Soleil after college for a couple of years, and then I came back and did stunts for film. And I was filming this show in Pennsylvania called Chalk It Up, and I was doubling the actress who was a gymnast. It was our last day of shooting, my last routine, and just something so simple, I just took off and El Snapo.
What did you break?
I tore my Achilles.
Achilles.
Yeah, I tore my Achilles fully. Super fun.
You and cousins and everybody else. So is it healed?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
was a year of recovery for me.
Ouch.
Yeah.
No more Cirque du Soleil after that?
Yes, I did.
Well, you tried out for the trapeze thing, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But they cut the act because it was too dangerous, which I'm so happy they did.
She's Susan Jackson. She's getting inducted into the LSU Athletic Department Hall of Fame, which is going to be the Friday night before the Florida game. Big ceremony downtown at the Capitol Museum in Baton Rouge. I will be there. Looking forward to it. Get inducted with Brady James, Jason Williams, some other names that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But But Jason Williams is a guy that I played with 1 or 2 seasons in baseball from Sanoma High School, long overdue. If Jason Williams had played now, or heck, had played just 10 years ago when there was a lot more TV and internet coverage and all that, he'd be a household name because he was that good. He in my opinion, is the top 2 shortstop ever to play at LSU. Some other names are gotten some bigger run, and maybe some guys that made the big leagues where J-Dub made it to AAA and was a great minor leaguer for a number of years. But for those hardcore LSU fans that have seen LSU baseball for the last 35 years like I have, Jason Williams is as good a player as LSU's ever had. So I'm really excited to see him go in, excited for you as well.
Did he play professionally?
Yeah, J-Dub actually, believe it or not, he played in the minor leagues. He actually 1 year he hit 344 in AAA with the Cincinnati Reds. That's pretty incredible. Greek. I mean, you would think he would have made the big leagues. Unfortunately, they had a guy named Barry Larkin that was playing shortstop ahead of him, and who was a great player for a long, long time. And he just never got the chance. And he's one of those stories that shouldn't have happened. But he did play in the Olympics in 1996. Won a bronze medal for the United States in the Atlanta Olympics. Skip Bertman was the head coach on that team. And so he had a lot of great memories and was a fantastic player at LSU, Sanoma High School.
I'm excited about Brady James because we, as a gymnast at LSU, we partnered with him and his Foundation 56. It was for breast cancer. So we partnered with him every year to do our annual pink meet. So,
yeah, his mom and dad both passed away of cancer. His mom when he was in college. And that was my introduction into LSU gymnastics, was through that pink meet.
Oh, really?
Because I think it was like a $2
I doubt
or
that
something.
highly, Ronnie.
No,
you were a baseball player at LSU.
I'm not saying I didn't know who some gymnasts were. I'm just saying, like, going to a gymnastics meet. I never went in college, and so it wasn't until it wasn't as big a deal as it was when, and it was probably 2003, 4, something like that, when the pink meet thing started happening, or maybe late 2000s. But I remember taking my daughter, who's now a freshman at LSU, a sophomore at LSU, and I remember taking her and our friends to a couple of pink meets and walking in and going, holy cow, there's 6,000 people. Back then, 7,000 was like, what? Now it's sold out.
Crazy to see.
But it was like 7,000 people, which was the big show. And I remember thinking, this is cool, man. This is fun. But I was just more excited about a lot of people, and kids were all having a fun time. And, I didn't really know what was going on. And then to see how it's grown and the production value, it's as good as, it's better than the Olympics.
Fire. It's it's quick,
incredible.
too. It's just like
2 hours, in and out.
2 hours, and something's always happening, and you get to see amazing flips, and I don't know. It's great.
We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap up with Susan Jackson, LSU 2019 Hall of Famer.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call AccuTemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau Saint Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG, and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rantz.
Welcome back, everybody. Ronnie Rantz here with you. Sports Shorts presented by LaBerge Casino. All kind of great events going on at LaBerge. They got Parish County Line coming up this fall. Brian McKnight in November. You know, oh my God, I'm so excited about that. I went and saw Brian McKnight at Paragon about 4 years ago. Love me some old school 90s, 2000s Brian McKnight, R&B. He was fantastic. So kudos to Chris Lundgren and the gang over at LaBerge, bringing him in. They got Better Than Ezra this fall, Cowboy Mouth, you name it. So all you got to do is go to the LaBerge Baton Rouge, download the LaBerge Baton Rouge app on your phone. You can see all the great shows that are coming up. Buy your tickets through Ticketmaster.com or go to the Sundry store inside LaBerge. You can buy tickets there. Friday nights before LSU football games is the place to be. When you're not at a gymnastics meet. We're visiting with Susan Jackson. She's going into the LSU Sports Hall of Fame this coming fall. She's joining an elite class. I was there with April Burkhalter a couple of years ago. She got inducted over at LaBerge into the Hall of Fame. Your coach, Dee Dee Bro, she's in just about any Hall of Fame there is in the state or in anything to do with gymnastics. She's like the Energizer Bunny. She's still going. I saw her the other day at a celebrity waiter event, and hey, coach, I know everybody asked you, how long are you going to keep doing this? And she doesn't have an answer. She's going to just keep doing it as long as she enjoys it and has the energy to do it. Talk about her for a minute. What it was like competing for her, and what makes her so special? Why is it that she's such a successful coach?
I think, as you said, Energizer Bunny. She's always moving, always excited. Just a great motivator and a great leader. And I think what separates her, what helps her team, is that she kind of individualizes her athletes. And if I needed one thing, and April Burkholder needed another, and just she knows all of her athletes so well and knows exactly what to say in the moment and in training, just what they need and what'll work for them. She
knows how to handle. Some need a hug, some need a kick in the butt.
I always needed the kick in the butt. Like, quite literally, she kicked me in the butt.
She and at this point in her career, she did something this past offseason that's probably would be a little bit surprising to folks from a distance. She named one of her assistants head coach.
Right.
So she's sharing the head coach duties with an assistant. Explain who that is and what that all is all about.
Right. So his name is Jay Clark, and he was the assistant coach at Georgia. And he came, I don't know, maybe 8 seasons ago. But he has really he's just flipped the program upside down. And, I think a lot of what we see now and a lot of the new gym, that was a lot of him.
And the
competitions, the team success, but also like the competitions. That's very much
the
him.
Flair and all that. That's all
so
a lot of his ideas.
Right, he's done a lot for this team, and I think we owe him a lot. But when that came out, I got so many text messages. Is Dee Dee done? What is she doing? Is this her last year? Like, she doesn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's great to share some responsibility and kind of grow him into her
Right.
so that she can have a
Well,
transitionless out.
it also locks him into staying, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the guy's a successful coach.
Right.
He's going to be recruited away by other programs that want him to be their head coach.
Right.
And this is a way to say, hey, look, we're committed to you. You're going to be the next coach, even if they don't make that official to the public. Hey, you're going to be the next head coach whenever DD steps down. In the meantime, salary raise, title bump, and it keeps him in the fold.
Right. He's great. And his wife, Julie, was actually a gymnast at Georgia as well. And so she's coaching the little kid program, or running the little kid program at LSU, and their daughter is a gymnast. So,
well, there was always great individual gymnasts like yourself and April and others. It's just in the last, decade that the team has just taken to another level. There was always some teams that made the Super Six or, different thing, but it just seems like the consistency and the depth is there now more than ever before. And as you mentioned, Coach Clark gets a lot of credit for that. Now that we're getting approach about a minute left here in the show, when you think back to your times at LSU, you're now going into the Hall of Fame. Is there a point in time that stands out the most that made you feel comfortable and, hey, this is my school?
Well, so I actually never visited LSU ever. I just, I love the way the coaches recruited me and how they treated me and cared about me as an individual and a student first and then an athlete last. So that's why I chose LSU. But it was just, y'all's crazy Cajun culture is really amazing. And no, I'm so happy with my decision. And I've loved everything about this university and Louisiana. Obviously, I'm still here 13 years later. I think one of my favorite memories at LSU was making it to the Super Six for the first time in 2008. It was such a huge monkey off of Dee Dee's back because they had never made it. And the Super Six is, by the way, the equivalent of the Final Four. Yeah.
Well, congratulations for all of your success. Thanks. Susan Jackson going into the LSU Hall of Fame. Thanks for Lee Brecheen joining us earlier. Sports Shorts presented by LeBears.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.